making sense of politics and the cultural divide from a different perspective. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant on News Radio 710 Keel.
Why, hello, citizens. This is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge. And I got to tell you, I'm really glad to be back here in my home of Louisiana. It's a great day in the USA, and I hope you all had a great time yesterday with our show. I know that we did, broadcasting from Las Vegas. Stephen, I got to tell you, man, you did a fantastic job. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
And I'm getting rave reviews from everybody that has given us a call or a text. As I told you, this is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge, where you'll not live on the edge, you will have the edge. Come on, stay a while with us. We had a great show lined up for you. Stephen, tell the folks what it is.
We're going to start off with black market cigarettes. It's an issue that has led to the death of one person up in New York City. And that has led to some other issues dealing with race and also dealing with liberty and taxation.
It's amazing.
And so we're really going to dig into all different sides of that. I also, CL, do you remember back in the day, several years ago, about 6 years ago, do you remember Nancy Pelosi when she said this?
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it away from the fog of the controversy.
Away from the fog. I'm glad she used that word because it sounded as though she was in a fog then, and she's in a fog now. I mean to tell you, she, Obama, Biden, they're all in. I think they drink or something.
The thing is that they've passed the bill, and I'm not sure they still know what's in it yet.
No, and I tell you, somebody else doesn't know what's in it. Mary Landrieu.
That's our question of the day. Do you think Mary Landrieu knows what's in the Affordable Care Act yet? Because she could have single-handedly stopped this. The people in Louisiana told her, we don't want it. She made a little backroom deal, and I don't think we know what's in the bill yet. But
and don't you let her forget that she did that. Put that coat on her back. Don't let her take it off, because we're in this mess. We're going to talk a little bit more about that because Mary didn't stand up.
Yeah, so we're going to see what's in the bill, because I'm not sure people fully understand. We also have Dr. Gina Loudin on the phone today. She is one of the Politichicks, Politichick.tv, and also a member of the Tea Party and a very insightful person. So we'll be talking with her.
My friend.
Let's first deal with What's the Buzz?
What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz? Tell me what's happening. What's the buzz?
Speaking of buzz, in Colorado, people are using their EBT cards, not a debit card, but this is the electronic benefits transfer card.
Yeah, food stamp card. Let's just be plain about it. It's a food stamp card. And, man, what's happening is the system cannot decipher whether these folks are going in and buying oregano or cookies laced with pot or brownies laced with pot or pot. And so you're paying for their high. That's just plain and simple. You, me, we paying for their high.
Well, we're not, because we're in Louisiana. But in Colorado, folks are using their EBT cards to purchase pot. Millions of dollars so far just spent on those beneficiaries to marijuana. And this is one of the arguments that I've had against legalizing drugs, because we live in a welfare state. There are welfare benefits being provided to people, and that, I believe, is a problem. If we are providing welfare to folks and then we are allowing legalization of drugs, they will be using welfare money to buy drugs.
500,000 folks in Colorado are on the welfare rolls. So take that for what it's worth. When we look at this being something that can be spread out around the country, if this type of mentality continues to seed, it will spread.
So let's talk about the next step on What's the Buzz, and it deals with what's going on over in Iraq, with ISIS taking over the Islamic State and taking over the city of Mosul. They are kicking out Christians, and this is not a recent Christian community. This Christian community goes back 2,000 years.
Yeah.
And ISIS is saying you either have to convert to Islam, or you have to pay a tax, or you have to leave, or we'll kill you.
Where's the president on this, Stephen? I mean, have you heard him say anything about this?
You know, I have heard a little comment about the president, but not from the president. This is Charles Krautheimer on Fox yesterday. Listen to what he said.
Where is the president on this?
No, that's what I said.
This is a persecution of Christians who predate the Muslims by 600 years in the Middle East. These people in Mosul were there before there was Islam.
Before Islam was, the people of Mosul were practicing Christians. Guess what else they're doing, this ISIS who's driving them out? They're sending them out of their home without anything.
Right.
They're taking their jewels, they're taking their money, and these people are leaving out of there with the clothes on their back. This is barbaric.
And they're burning down whatever Christian churches are there, no matter how old they are. Again, an 1,800-year-old church was burned down in Mosul after that.
Talk about a tragedy.
Listen again to Krautheimer, again, on the president's position.
Where's the president? He talked about how disrespectful we were to Muslims in many of his speeches. Where is he standing up for the Christian minorities in Egypt, in Lebanon, in Palestine, among other places in the West Bank, and now in Iraq?
Answer to your question, Dr. Krautheimer, he's not. He's not standing up for us. He's not standing up for them. He is an absentee president, the same as he was when he was in the Senate. He was he voted president. He was absentee then, and there is nothing that will convince me that anything about him will change.
So it's fair to say you have a negative impression of the president.
You may be right. You may be right.
What is your feeling about Darth Vader? Positive or negative?
Darth wasn't so bad.
Okay. So a new poll came out, and Darth Vader has a higher rating. You take the people who think good of Darth Vader and who think bad of Darth Vader, you average that, and you take the numbers there. He has a net positive rating, higher than anybody who's supposedly is running for president in 2016, higher than Hillary Clinton, higher than Mike Huckabee, higher than Rand Paul, Marco Rubio. By the way, Hillary Clinton does at least come in higher than Emperor Palpatine.
I'll tell you what, Darth would certainly straighten out Hamas. He'd straighten them out.
But there are problems that go along with Darth Vader. But anyway, they all came in higher than Jar Jar Binks. Jar Jar Binks was higher than the Congress.
America on the Edge. Stephen, we're on a roll. We'll be back in a minute.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
The Italians are not the only lovers of pizza, but just to make the Johnny's Pizza House experience more authentic for you, we invite you to Be Italian. We'll whisk you far, far away to a land of romance and squisito Italian pizza. A 12-inch for just $12.99 begins your journey. Our new bacon and tomato pizza seasoned with Johnny's special Italian blend. Enjoy, no. Goodere Johnny's bacon and tomato pizza today. Johnny's Pizza House. Taste the best.
If you're tired of getting nickel and dime for your company's marketing needs, GI Marketing Group can help. We're a new, evolved marketing company with no monthly fees or markups and with quicker response times. With GI Marketing Group, there is no outsourcing. We own the production facilities, everything from print, mail, video, digital, and web design. We do it all in-house. Call us today at 318-222-1100 to start saving time and money, or visit us online at gimarketinggroup.com.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get them, CL.
Is your house just not cool enough when you walk in from work? You deserve to sit in the cool and comfort of your own home after a long, hard day. Give the friendly folks at Premier a call at 222-1980.
Most people never get honest feedback. Bad breath? No one tells you. Food on your nose? You just don't know. But if you don't get honest feedback on your finances, your retirement could be a nasty surprise. I'm Jesse with Future Advisor. We'll look at your portfolio and tell you what the future holds. Our chartered financial analysts and math PhDs created software to make the work formerly done by money managers obsolete. We've been featured in Fortune, Wall Street Journal, and Fox News. And our software is so efficient, we'll show you how to fix your investments for free. Getting the Future Advisor report on your portfolio takes about 2 minutes. The report will show you how to retire sooner. And if we can't shave at least 1 year off your retirement, we'll send you $100. That's right, $100 for 2 minutes of your time. Go to futureadvisor.com/radio and get the details. Get an honest report about your money and a plan for the future in under 2 minutes, free. futureadvisor.com/radio. That's futureadvisor.com/radio.
SB Magazine, North Louisiana's premier publication, is your source for local entertainment, home decor ideas, gardening information, fashion trends, and seasonal gift guides. Every month, we take you behind the scenes at some of Shreveport-Bossier's most fun events in Ion SB. And you'll find SB Magazine everywhere. But the best way to make sure you have the most current issue is to subscribe. It's just $16 for 12 months. Call Debbie today or go to our website, sbmag.net. SB Magazine, the pulse of Shreveport-Bossier.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr, and we are wanting to know, does Mary Landrieu know what's in the Affordable Care Act yet?
She's got all her little lambs following her wherever she go. And I tell you something, she's fleecing them. That's what's happening, man. She's fleecing them.
Let us know what you think on that. Send us a tweet at The American Edge or give us a phone call, 320-KEEL, 320-KEEL. We will be talking to you in the second half hour. CL, I want to talk about something that's been going on up in New York City. A few days ago, there was a man named Eric Garner who was confronted by police. Police were accusing him of selling illegal cigarettes, not pot, tobacco cigarettes, but they were ones that didn't go through the state taxing system. They're kind of black market cigarettes.
Right.
In the confrontation, police tried to put him under arrest. He was not wanting that. He kept saying, "Don't touch me." And this whole thing was caught on video. And I'm going to play part of it. And I want folks to listen to some of the confrontation.
I did not sell nothing. Because every time you see me, you want to harass me, you want to stop me, you want to sell cigarettes. I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time, please just leave me alone.
So this turns out to be some of the last words for Mr. Gardner, because the police put him in a chokehold, took him to the ground. They put their knee on his head and in his back, and on the ground he said, "I can't breathe." He did have asthma, and he did pass out and die right there on the sidewalk in New York City.
It sounds to me, Stephen, like somebody has made a family very wealthy up there in New York City. But let's look at this a little bit closer than it is, because what killed him was not the police and not his resistance, or not the black market cigarettes. What killed him was a tax on cigarettes to a point where people are buying them or have a demand to buy them on the black market. Folks, yes, we do have a man who's dead and police who are receiving death threats because of it. I see Al Sharpton's got his folks marching out. You know,
Al Sharpton was at a memorial service this weekend and then also at the funeral.
He's gathering his forces. And I'm sure the NAACP is going to chime in. But what's unfortunate about this is that folks were taxed enough already in New York City, and this is what led to this tragic death.
Let me prove some points that CL's making here. Louisiana has a cigarette tax, 36 cents per pack, according to Wikipedia. In New York, the state of New York, the sales tax on cigarettes is $4.35 per pack.
Think about it.
$4 higher. Then inside New York City itself, it's an extra $1.50. So we're looking at almost $6 per pack in New York City in taxes.
Right. And so when we look at this, there's a flip side to this as well. He may not be dead if he would have complied with the police.
Sure.
You know, I mean, you know, if he'd let him cuff him and so forth, he may not be dead. But he also may not be dead if, in fact, the police had actually seen something in his hand to, this is a mess.
Yeah.
This is going to be a mess, and I don't care how it plays out because the police need to do their job. If in fact they have somebody who says, I'm not coming, I'm not going.
Right.
That's one of the things I think you don't want to say to the cops.
Right.
When they think they're going to take you in.
Especially not when there are several cops surrounding you.
Call my attorney.
Yeah.
Call my
attorney.
That's the first thing I'm saying. Secondly, here you're going to have a mess because there are people just whispering in the ears and talking loudly in the ears of this man's family. Sue the city, sue them.
Right.
And brother, this isn't over.
And there is some, as Al Sharpton's gotten involved, and there have been some people saying that this is about race. This is similar to stop and frisk, which people were saying was about race because he was a black man. He was a very tall, very large black man.
Yeah.
And people are saying that this may be about race. I don't see it. I don't see it about race.
No, I really don't see it either, Stephen. Let me tell you why. I don't think this is but the thing about the Rodney King thing.
Yeah.
Rodney King lived to tell his side of the story.
Right.
I don't think we're going to have a let's all just get along moment here, especially with these people calling in death threats to the police in New York. And this goes along what's happening across the bridge there in Jersey City.
Right, where a police officer was shot in his car.
Yeah.
And then police responded and shot one of the suspects to death. And then the wife of that says we should kill more cops.
This does not help that cause whatsoever. And I tell you something, I don't envy the folks there. I don't envy the mayor. You know what? Bloomberg has actually done this himself. What are you trying to regulate soft drinks?
Bloomberg was trying to say that you couldn't have and did impose the city ordinance where you couldn't have a big gulp, basically. Yeah. You can only have 20 ounces of soft drink, and that was it. And he was trying to tax that out of existence, too. But when you can buy cigarettes in a neighboring state, even paying the taxes there, and then bring it into New York City and make money off of that, charging not the taxes, 60%, 57% of the cigarettes sold in New York City are black market cigarettes nowadays.
60% of the cigarettes sold in New York City are black market cigarettes, you're saying to me, Stephen?
Yes.
Well, listen, folks, look at this aspect of it. You cannot legislate morality. If a person wants to smoke, they're going to do it anyway. Maybe this is the libertarian side of me that's speaking out right now. I don't care if you smoke cigarettes as long as you're not blowing it in my face and I have to sniff the secondhand smoke of it. If you want to kill yourself with a cigarette, kill yourself with a cigarette. That's fine. If you want to drink the 20-ounce big gulp, whatever, go for it. As far as concerned, I don't think a mayor or anyone else has that right to infringe or to invade that part of my life. And this man is dead because of someone trying to legislate morality. It has never worked, and it didn't work here. This guy's dead over it.
The new mayor of New York, Bratton, is saying that first of all, he says that he doesn't think race was a factor in it. Bill Bratton says he didn't think race was a factor in the killing. But he did say that they are going to retrain all New York City police officers because a chokehold was apparently used. You see it in the video. You can see it in the video. But he says that is not a move that is approved in the New York Police Department. So they are going to retrain all of their police officers.
Just got a tweet saying laws always regulate morality. No, what laws do is build a framework for a moral people to operate within. There's a difference. Of course, I don't have, and in this hour, can't go through that with you. But the law is a framework that we operate within. And now, a moral people obey the law. However, there are laws like this one that is a tax on your morality.
Right.
And that is different. Now, we can argue the pros and cons, bat it back and forth and everything, but this is not what you think it is, my friend out there on Twitter.
I'm not a fan of cigarettes by any means. My grandfather died because of cigarettes, and it was a long, slow death.
My grandfather still had brown stains on his fingers when we buried him for smoking non-filtered cigarettes. But he was 96, so what the heck?
And I'm just not a fan of that. But by the same token, $6 a pack in taxes on cigarettes, I think at that point you are asking for more trouble than what it's really worth. I mean, again, your point, if you can't legislate morality, people are still going to want to buy their cigarettes. I think one of the things, functions of law, and this is a guiding principle for me, make it easier to do the right thing, make it harder to do the wrong thing.
Right.
And at this taxing structure that New York City's gotten to, it's now easier to smuggle than it is to do the right thing and follow the law.
Absolutely. And the question has to be, Stephen, where does it stop? Where does that type of legislation stop? Listen, folks, America is on the edge, and you're live with us. This is C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr. We'll be right back.
Now, I'm a feller with a heart of gold with the ways of a gentleman, I've been told.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If you haven't yet, go to our website, AmericaOnTheEdge.com. It's different than most websites out there, and that's because it's not a website, it's our nation, created by Logic Nation. As we're launching this new kind of radio show, we decided to partner with a new kind of internet company. Logic Nation gives us a new way to interact with you through your existing social media platforms. We've got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, all in one place, which makes it easy. Too much of the time, social media becomes a place where we bicker and fight rather than listen and learn. Logic Nation gives us the ability to start a new conversation on air and online. So now when you go to our Nation page and start a conversation with CL or with me, we can stay focused on that discussion without getting distracted. It's going to change things, and I believe for the better. Logic Nation has an app to make it easier to browse content on your mobile devices. You can download that for free today. If you have a business that needs to reach your customers in a new interactive way, you should give Logic Nation a try.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
Planning your next staycation? You don't have to go far to get away from it all. Just 30 minutes south of Shreveport, in the historic village of Grand Cane, stands the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. This stately treasure was built in the mid-1800s before the Civil War. The Cook Hill House is also the perfect place for weddings, receptions, parties, and showers. Call the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast at 318-858-0800. 318-858-0800. Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast, Victorian elegance with country charm.
Conserving water is mostly a matter of using good common sense. Your porcelain throne is notorious for its hidden leaks, stealing water 24/7. A leaky toilet can waste hundreds of gallons of water a day and go completely undetected. So check your toilet for wear and proper adjustment periodically. The declining Sparta Aquifer is our main water source in North Louisiana. Do your part for water conservation. Be Sparta smart. Make every drop count. This public service announcement is brought to you by this radio station, a member of the Sparta Media Network.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
How. I think that's the lyrics, right? Yeah, okay. Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr. If you'd like to support the show, you can send us an email to ad@americaontheedge.com. ad@americaontheedge.com. Our question of the day today, do you think Mary Landrieu knows what's in the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare? Do you think she knows what's in that yet, even though they've passed it?
She's hanging around with Harry Reid. She's hanging around with Nancy Pelosi. And they're hanging around with Mary. It seems like they're all Mary's little lambs, and they're leading us down a path we don't want to go.
So does she know what's in the bill yet? Has she read it yet?
No, she doesn't know.
Let us know what you think. Call 320-KEEL, 320-KEEL, or send us a tweet at The American Edge, at The American Edge. CL, our guest right now is Dr. Gina Loudin, a friend of yours and one of the Politichicks on Politichick.tv, and a very insightful person when you listen to what she has to say and read some of the stuff she's done. And Dr. Gina, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, Dr. Gina, thank you so much for being on the show here today, and thank you for your friendship. I hear you got a new book, a hardcover that came out today. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, it didn't actually come out today. We just got our advanced copies today, and I think media is getting theirs today as well. Anyway, it comes out September 2nd, I think is the actual release date, and it is called What Women Really Want. And since we know that y'all have been dying to know the answer to that question.
Oh, absolutely. Please, clue me in.
Yeah, but if you're going to write the What Men Really Want version of it, it's a really short book. But the What Women Really Want, it's kind of it's a read, definitely. And what we're really talking about here is the war on women that we think doesn't really exist where the mainstream media would have you think it does. We do believe there's a war on women. We think it's coming from the likes of Islam and the mainstream media that doesn't really ever tell the truth where women's issues are concerned.
That's a very interesting point that you bring up there, Dr. Gina. I'll tell you why. Because so many liberal women think that conservative women are so mistreated. Would you enlighten us on where that type of thinking comes from?
Well, it's really truly a pack of lies that I think women were sold in the 60s and the 70s, that somehow if you wanted to have a family and you wanted to be all the things that God made you to be as a woman, that was somehow less, that you couldn't have it all. And they redefined having it all as meaning giving up the very essential things that make a woman a woman. And also in that, they managed to emasculate men. And if there's one thing I'm really sure that most real women agree on, it's that we like real men.
I'm glad to hear you say that. None of us men want to be emasculated.
No, but you look out there, you look around CL, you see even the models. I'm sitting at a shopping mall right now. I'm looking at these models, these mannequins, and the distinction between the male and female ideal bodies and ideal look has grown so narrow that it's sometimes really hard to even tell the difference. But I think there's a crying in the hearts of women out there across the country to bring back the John Waynes of the world, to bring back the real men that were once, the ones that do protect and that do open a door and that do treat women like the treasures that we all want to be.
A little chivalry is what you're calling for.
A little chivalry.
There
yes,
you go.
Thank you.
You've written and you've been criticized a bit for going on to some liberal outlets, going on to Comedy Central and talking to the other side. Now, CL and I, starting the show, one of the things we want to do is to expand the conversation, and that seems to be something that is also near and dear to your heart. Can you explain a little bit why you think that's important?
This is my favorite thing about being a conservative today, is that we have such an opportunity. The left has done an incredible job of alienating its own, and the elite in Washington, D.C. have been discovered to be the liars, frankly, that they are. And I mean this on both sides of the aisle. What I think we have going for us right now as conservatives and as liberal grassroots people is that we've discovered that the elite in D.C. really don't care about anything except polarizing the rest of us. So as somebody who's in media right now, we have a phenomenal opportunity to have a dialogue, which is precisely the reason I am so excited about and love your show, because you're having that dialogue. You're saying, hey, we the people, they are they the elite. This isn't about Republican, Democrat, male, female, gay, straight. This really isn't about any of that. Black, white, for crying out loud, it's certainly not about that. But it really is about we the people getting together, figuring out what we can agree on and how we can make it better. And that is what the elite in Washington, D.C. really don't want us talking about. So I love going on shows, for example, like Comedy Central. You may know I did ABC's Wife Swap. I try to take whatever opportunities there are to reach out and say, hey, just because the people you watch on television, the talking heads, have said that because I'm a conservative, I look like this, talk like this, walk like this, think like this, dress like this, guess what? Here I am, and I don't fit in a box, and guess what? Neither do my conservative friends.
And you know what, Gina? on Wife Swap, you were marvelous.
Thank you, God. No, I really.
But you know what? This is a thing that I want to ask you as well, because you brought up the idea of the John Waynes and the alpha male type of image. Let me ask you this: where, in your opinion, where did we lose sight of that role model for men, for the male? Somehow we have compromised that role. Somehow it's become, lost in almost antiquity. Where is that? What happened?
Well, I think it's a couple of things. My background is in psychology, so this is something that I spent a lot of time thinking about. I think one place it started, honestly, sadly, was out of male deference to women. Women were saying, this is what we want. We're burning our bras. We want to go to work. We don't want kids anymore. We don't want to be wives. We don't want you to open our doors. And men went, okay, all right then. And that's just they kind of backed off. But I do think that we've lost a ton when we have taken God out of our classroom, God out of our culture, God out of our politics, because the God of the Bible designed men and women to be very different. And if women would only realize what a treasure, what a gift it is to be really the apple of someone's eye, the way that the Bible paints that picture, I think that women would opt for that. But I think when you take God out and women don't really understand what that biblical truth is, then they think they want something else, and they've been deceived. I think men and women have both been deceived in this equation.
So let me ask you, are you saying then that the role of the woman is actually a role that is strong, that is actually vital? In other words, the woman is supposed to be the franchise player in the relationship if she is treated that way. Is that what you're saying to us, Doc? Help me.
Yeah, absolutely. That is the beautiful design, that the way God set things up, that the man so honors and esteems the woman, puts her on such a pedestal that really she does have power that is untold, and it's one of those great mysteries of life. But you look at folks like Margaret Thatcher, you look at folks like Sarah Palin. I mean, you look at folks like Michelle Bachmann. These women are feminine and are still strong. So I don't think women have to be afraid of being feminine and losing some of their strength or some of their power. I think a woman's greatest power is in her softness, is in her femininity, and is in, frankly, her ability to be all the things that God designed a woman to be. And so I think that men rising back up and saying, hey, you know what, we're not going to take this pansy man image anymore. We want to be real men again. I think they'll be surprised how women will respond to that.
I was just looking at your post, 5 ways to convert a liberal in 5 minutes. And you have some points here, 5 different things that folks can do. And I've been in these conversations with folks who disagree with me, and I love doing it because, as you've said, this discourse is important. But let me just go through real quickly some of the points you make. Civil discourse intolerance. That's the first one you point out there, that you have to be civil as you're talking with someone who disagrees with you.
Yeah, because the left has been told repeatedly that that the conservative movement has no tolerance, that we're all bigots, we're all racist, we're homophobes, we're sexist, we're all those things. So I think the first thing that you have to demonstrate is, hey, I want to be with you. I want to sit down. I want to talk with you. I want to have a conversation. It's about connecting first and contending later is what I always try to say. So it's about finding what you have in common with that person and then worrying about the places where you disagree.
Definitely agree with that, Dr. Gina, because we have been the ones who have built bridges. And when I'm looking at this administration, the Obama administration, it has been from our side that has tried to reach out and build the bridge. But yet we have been those who have been vilified for being intolerant. But yet when I hear you touting our Christian values, you're doing it over and over. And I thank you so much for that, because so many of us have grown afraid and gun shy of even saying anything about our faith because we're being called intolerant and bigots because we're Christians. And this is something that we actually push here on America on the Edge, because we believe that is a part of America being on the edge, is the fact that we don't talk to each other any longer. Is that a part of what your book is about?
Yeah, absolutely, because we've been told by the elite that we should hate each other, that we should, that there's some trick up the other side's sleeve. They want to kill you, they want to destroy you, when in reality, it's anything but the truth. And I've found there are several issues that we can all agree on, regardless of religion or anything else. And one of those things is most people want to be free. So if you start from a foundation of freedom and you start talking about how the freedoms that people want, even if we disagree on what those freedoms are specifically, the individual freedoms that people want can't be given you by government, because government is force. Government is inherently coercive. And therefore, that's a place that most conservatives and liberals can agree on. So then you can get into conversation. Conservatives always want to jump straight into the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and Second Amendment and First Amendment. But you have to first agree on the concept of freedom. Why does the Constitution matter? Because the left tends to think it's an antiquated piece of paper. So you have to explain to them why it isn't and why they actually are the ones who probably stand to benefit from it the most. It is the groups, as you well know, CL, because you talk about this all the time in your work. It is the groups that complain the most about the right, that stand the most to lose when freedom goes. They're the ones that will become for first, as you know.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you having been on our show today, and appreciate y'all working. Again, the new book coming out September 2nd, and it's a book. It's what women really want, as opposed to the pamphlet, which is what men really want. That's about a 3-page thing.
Gina, I want to thank you so much for your friendship. God bless and keep you, and we'll be having you on regularly.
God bless you both. I love the format of this show. I hope it's nationalized in a heartbeat. You guys are awesome. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Dr. Gina Loudin, we are very happy to have had her on with us. This is C.L. Bryant, America on the Edge, where you'll not live on the edge, you'll have the edge. We'll be back.
Let us know if you think Mary Landrieu has read the ACA yet. Call 320-KEEL.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If the number on your thermostat is going up just as quickly as the temperature outside, your air conditioner may have a serious problem. Give the friendly folks over at Premier Heating and Cooling a call at 222-1980.
Hello, everybody. This is Henry Burns. God, faith, and freedom are not free. Many have paid the price. Let freedom ring. What a great radio program. Go get them, CL.
Hi, I'm Dr. Ben Beach, a dentist with Shreveport Bossier Family Dental Care. Using the latest techniques in oral and IV sedation, we can eliminate the fears you may have about dental treatment. So come on in and let our family take care of yours.
Ask about the $1 exam and free bleach for life. Shreveport Bossier Family Dental Care is open 6 days a week with locations in South Shreveport, North Shreveport, and Bossier City. Visit ShreveportBossierDental.com or call 686-7470. That's 686-7470.
Hello, I'm Liz, a student at Hillsdale College. Here is Hillsdale President Larry Arnn on the legislative vesting clause of the Constitution.
Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution states, all legislative powers herein granted shall be vested in a Congress of the United States. To the founders, legislative power was the power to make laws that apply to all alike, that are clear and easy to understand. The Constitution says all legislative powers, and that means Congress cannot rightfully delegate these powers to some other body. Today our laws are thousands of pages long. Sometimes rules are tens of thousands, and no one can read them. Congress has abdicated its legislative power to unelected bureaucrats and countless executive agencies. This is a violation of Article 1, Section 1 of the Constitution.
This Constitution Minute was brought to you by Hillsdale College. To join the national conversation on the Constitution, go to constitutionminute.com.
Don't complain about your cable bill going up and up and up. Do something about it. Grab a pencil and jot down this special number.
Call 877-319-MY-TV.
The more cable TV rates go up, the better digital satellite TV looks. So cancel the cable and get more of your favorite channels in 100% digital quality for less money.
Call 877-319-MY-TV.
Right now to sign up for packages starting as low as $24.99, and there's no equipment to buy. You get free HD TV upgrade, a free DVR upgrade, and free professional installation. You control control what you watch when you watch it. Record your favorite shows. Pause and rewind live TV. Even skip the commercials. Watch local channels too. At just $24.99, what are you waiting for? Pull out your major credit or debit card.
Call 877-319-MY-TV. That's 877-319-MY-TV.
Cancel the cable, cut costs, and get more.
Call 877-319-MY-TV. That's 877-319-MY-TV.
This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Welcome back to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant. I am Stephen Parr, and we are talking about the Affordable Health Care Act because yesterday there were two court rulings, one of the D.C. court, the D.C. District, and D.C. Circuit Court, which said that the Obamacare exchanges set up online, healthcare.gov, which was offering these special incentives.
Subsidies.
The subsidies. The government apparently cannot do that because written in the bill, it says that the subsidies are only through state exchanges, not the federal exchange that was set up. It's expressly written in there.
Right. And so everyone who signed up here in Louisiana, which we're one of 36 states who did not take the subsidies, as far as that's concerned. But if you signed up, the feds kicked in,
right,
where the state did not.
Right.
So if this falls down, Stephen, those of you little lambs out there who signed up for Obamacare behind Mary, your premiums are going to necessarily skyrocket. They're going to go up.
To take a phrase from the president, yes.
Yeah, then the president said that about electricity.
Right.
But he didn't say this about the unaffordable health care. This is supposed to be the affordable health care plan. And guess who signed on to the affordable health care plan and that we're going to let her own it? That's Mary Landrieu. She signed up for it. She signed on to it, and she may have just signed you up for something that's going to cause your health care to skyrocket.
And in fairness to Mary, she may not have known what was in it when she signed on to it. Because remember what Nancy Pelosi said?
What'd she say, Stephen? You gotta.
But we have to pass the bill so that you can find out what is in it away from the fog of the controversy.
That's how it works. You have to pass it. Then you find out what's in it. It's like a piñata.
Have you ever watched her?
You have to break it open before you can find out what's in it.
Have you ever watched her as she's saying that? I mean, she's got these saucers, just looking into the headlights, she's like a little clueless child. It's amazing. She frolics. I know that she eats and drinks and everything, but it just doesn't seem like anybody's home there.
Here's the thing that gets me now on this. It may not be just that they didn't read it before they voted on it, which they didn't because there wasn't time.
Yeah.
But it also may be that now that they have read it, they may not know what words mean. Listen to John Carl from ABC as he was grilling Josh Earnest with the White House press secretary. Listen to this yesterday.
Very clearly states the subsidies are available to those who enroll through state exchanges. Does the letter of the law matter to the White House on this?
What matters?
That is the letter of the law. Yeah. It says state exchanges.
Again, I don't have the fancy legal degree that I referred to earlier, but I do think that what the courts are charged with doing is evaluating the intent of Congress.
Oh, okay. So the question still remains, does the letter of the law mean anything to this administration?
See, and I think it should. And when you start arguing intent, look, they told us time and time and time again, this is not a tax. This is not a tax. There are no new taxes. Read my lips.
It's a tax.
According to the Supreme Court, it's a tax. That's the only way it's still constitutional is if it is a tax.
This is going to wind up back at the Supreme's doorstep, though. And, John Roberts is going to get another shot.
He is going to get another shot,
Justice Roberts,
at doing, because I don't understand the intellectual gymnastics he went through.
And
on
I mean,
he
did a quadruple over the back somersault and brought it back to us. He did nothing.
It was kind of like arguing with Vincenti in The Princess Bride. Clearly, I cannot choose the vial in front of me. You have a dizzying intellect is what was going on there.
And the same question goes, is Darth Vader really a bad guy? I mean,
In Vader's defense, he did become good again by the end of the movie.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
what I'm saying. And then James Earl Jones, he does a great job with that. But just the same, this is where we're after here.
Yeah.
Queen Mary.
Yeah.
has, in fact, played a major role in this being what it is today, being the quagmire that it has become today. This is a bog that is on the American people. Somehow it sounded great. Everybody gets health care, but they didn't read the cost. They didn't count the cost of what this would take to make.
And part of the reason why they didn't count the cost is because they were trying to slough the cost off to the states, and the states realized it. 36 states realized this was going to cost them more money, and they said no. And I think more and more people are starting to come off of the Obama train. And one of them, we talked about this yesterday, Chris Matthews. This is Joy Reid and Chris Matthews talking on Hardball yesterday. And wait for the last line from Chris Matthews because it is beautiful.
If you're Mary Landrieu, this is good for you because you're now having another case that you can make to the voters in Louisiana that this is a bad deal. If you got that insurance, and the South is where the uninsured people live.
Okay, well, you still have your hope poster up on the wall.
You know what? Chris said, "Are you kidding me?"
That's what that was.
That's what he's saying.
That was you didn't just drink the Kool-Aid. You're the one who stirred it up.
You're stirring it up, and you're trying to put some sugar in this.
That's right.
As far as concerned. But I tell you something about Chris. We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. This guy is really trying hard to get off the reservation.
Yeah.
He's hearing these people say these things, and somehow it seems like Chris Matthews has been under the ether. And somehow he's coming out from under the ether, and he's beginning to hear people that he's familiar with saying crazy stuff, and he can't help himself. He's saying, "Are you crazy?" That's what he's saying.
And apparently he's taken his poster down.
He's taking his down. He was all hope and change, tingling up the legs. Not anymore.
Nope.
I tell you what, when a president like Obama loses Chris Matthews, who is hard left, and as Obama was hard left, and Chris Matthews is jumping off the ship is going down. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr. We'll be back in a minute.
You're listening to America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
Have you ever thought, I wish I didn't have to search for the best price on printing or direct mail? Tired of trying to design your own material on some confusing website just to get to the end and it's not that professional look your business needs? Well, stop searching and call Graphic Industries. We've been waiting on your business, ready to help you with your printing and direct mail needs. Graphic Industries offers all types of print, stationery, brochures, flyers, catalogs, door hangers, books, pocket folders, postcards, variable printed letters, and much, much more. Graphic Industries can direct mail for you, too. You can customize a mailing list, target a certain demographic, or just flood the market and get your name in the homes of thousands of potential clients. Lowest prices, best quality, and a faster turn time. Visit us online at graphicindustries.net. or call us today at 318-222-1100. Graphic Industries, the #1 choice of printing and direct mail.
Doctors Thornton, Pugh, Ollier, and Watkins from the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center are excited to tell you about a new, made-for-iPhone hearing aid, Resound Links. Resound Links is the fully featured hearing aid designed to connect directly with iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch. Built with revolutionary technology to bring you a smarter, smaller, and more connected hearing experience. Call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links. That's 888-408-6318 to schedule your appointment to learn all about Resound Links. Apple, iPad, iPhone, and iPod Touch are trademarks of Apple Incorporated, registered in the U.S. and other countries. Once again, call the Ear, Nose, and Throat Center at 888-408-6318 today to experience Resound Links.
You don't have to go far to get away from it all. Just 30 minutes south of Shreveport in the historic village of Grand Cane stands the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. This stately treasure was built in the mid-1800s before the Civil War. Today, antiques and homemade quilts fill king and queen size suites. Rooms come fully furnished with private baths and free cable and Wi-Fi. Plus, you get a homemade country breakfast from Grand Cane Gourmet Jane Bryant included in your reservation. The Cook Hill House is the perfect place for weddings, receptions, parties, and showers, or when simply planning your next staycation. Call the Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast at 318-858-0800. 318-858-0800. That's 318-858-0800. Cook Hill House Bed and Breakfast. Victorian elegance with country charm.
Giving you the edge. This is America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant and Stephen Parr on News Radio 710 Keel.
If you'd like to be an advertiser on the show, like Cook Hill House you just heard there, you can send us an email, ad@americaontheedge.com, ad@americaontheedge.com. On our Facebook page, Facebook/America on the Edge, we had asked this question: do you think Mary Landrieu knows what's in Obamacare yet? And we got a couple responses. One of them from Jeff Simmons. Jeff says, well, I'll just put it this way. Emphatically, he says no. And then we also have Virginia. And Virginia said, no, I would like to know who are the authors of Obamacare. And it's one of those that the bill was really cobbled together. Obama was not one of the authors, by the way.
No.
He left it up
Nancy
to Congress.
Pelosi,
Nancy
actually.
Pelosi.
Yeah.
Harry Reid had a lot to do with it. There were people in back rooms.
Yeah.
There's a little special carve-out for Mary Landrieu.
Yeah.
And she could have been the one to stop it.
I can't call his name right now, but there's a senator, the true author of Obamacare, who actually said it would be a train wreck. I'll have his name for you tomorrow. Can't off the top of my head, just can't remember his name, but he said it's going to be a train wreck. And he actually wrote a large part of it. And you know what, Stephen, I want to take the time right now to wish one of our crew, one of our own here. We call him Handsome Kyle. Today is his 26th birthday. It's all downhill from there, baby.
Yeah, but that's how you go fast.
Yeah, that's how you go really fast.
Yeah.
Believe me, it starts going fast. The old folks, when they tell you that time does speed up, I don't know what it is about it, but it certainly does. But happy birthday to Handsome Kyle. Stephen, I got to tell you, man, these are very interesting times that we are living in at this point in time. In fact, the Chinese proverb goes, may you live in interesting time. In fact, I think it was a Chinese curse.
It was a curse. Yes, it was.
that they had. But we want to thank each and every one of you. And, of course, we thank our Creator. I call him God, for giving us this opportunity to be here and living in the greatest land on the face of the earth, the greatest success story the world has ever known, America. America is on the edge, and we are trying to build bridges here with this program. And we want you to help us come along. And I also want you to join us in thanking those young men, those young women across the globe who, Stephen, protect our right to sit behind this microphone on a daily basis and speak our mind. We'll talk to you again in 23 hours here on America on the Edge. C.L. Bryant, Stephen Parr. Bye now.
America strong and living free. They see the damage and the pain, shattered lives, wave of rain.
Tomorrow, Sean Hannity is our guest on America on the Edge with C.L. Bryant.
Fighting for us.